Wait, so let me get this straight. It only
Yeah,
cost you $15 to
basically.
get into this?
Yeah, basically $15 to get into a funded account.
Wow.
Yep. And I myself can say that this is, probably one of the best decisions I've made. I would make anywhere from I could lose $300, $400, but at the same time, I could profit 1,500. If I can do it, you can do it.
This it doesn't take money to make money, it takes skill. The moment you have the skill, you can make any money you want. So let's say, had you not received the educations, had you not participated in the course or signed up at the very beginning, what are the percentages of you getting this challenge accomplished?
It's nothing.
Good morning, Lawrence.
Good morning. How are
Pleasure
you?
to speak with you. That what an awesome experience, and I've just gotta. This is like a great honor for me to get on this call with you. Do you remember about a month ago when I sent you the certifications of all the funded traders that got into this program and they got it, and I tacked you into a mess, and I said, "At Lawrence, you're next." Here we go. Here we are,
I know.
a month after, literally a month after.
Yeah.
You achieve almost an incredible milestones here. Funded $25,000 as a funded traders. How does it feel? And yeah, of course, I want to talk to you about all of this experience, how you did it, the way you did it, and all the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm
Oh
hoping
yeah.
you'll share a lot of this great information with our fellow traders here. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready. I can gladly be able to speak about how I got here.
So let's start from the very beginning,
Sure.
right? Number one, how long have you been a part of this program?
How long have I been part of this program? I've been with the program since August, since
Wow,
August of this year. So it's been, what is it? 8, 9,
like
10, 11, about
three
4 months,
months.
three,
Wow.
4 months.
And how did you find our program? How did you find me?
Uh, I found it through a referral. A friend of mine brought me over to you, and he just sent me over a link, the introduction to the course, and I just felt a lot of transparency throughout the video, and so that's what made me want to, continue to pursue and continue with the course.
I thank you for this friend of yours so much. You have no idea. What inspired you to get into trading? Why are you doing this?
So there's financial freedom. You basically can build your time around trading and just the flexibility. It only needs about 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours of your time, and that's something that really intrigued me in wanting to get into this. And also just knowing that I can have some sort of backup to, let's say, if I do work in 8 to 5 and something happens, and something did happen throughout my time working at the 8 to 5. I recently got laid off, and just knowing that I have some sort of a backup, but also having the mindset of, oh, maybe this is like a pivot or a transition of me going full time in trading, where I only have to spend 2 hours in a day, and I have that much freedom and flexibility to do whatever I want for the rest of the day. That's what really grabbed my attention.
Wow. So talk to me about this recent trades, this journey that you're on. And by the way, just for my fellow traders, if they don't understand, being a funded trader is essentially you're trading with institutions' money. You're not trading with your own money, but you're using other capital that you're able to achieve, essentially show them the skill that you know how to trade, and they give you the money to trade with them. Walk me through this. By the way, I'm going to put it on the screen here.
Sure.
$25,000 funded. How long did it all take for you, and how did you go about this process as a whole? Walk me through all the ups and downs into this.
Honestly, I looked at the number, and initially I started off with $100,000 account, and in my head it's just like, oh, you can make 12 contracts. Like, let's just hurry up and make one good trade, get out of the way. But that turned into um, uh, messing up multiple times, just being very greedy rather than staying patient, sticking to the plan, and really working on the psychological aspect of all the all the things that you teach in your program. There's a lot of the technical analysis portion of it, which I put into plan, but then also just the psychological portion where start off small, practice, and then grow your size. And so I messed up, multiple times. Like it probably took a good 12 resets, or like, failed attempts. And I don't know if it's also like in correlation to, the layoff that happened with me. That's where I told myself, you know what, I'm gonna stick to the plan and I'm gonna stay patient. And this is all I have right now, for the time being. And I want to make sure that if I don't make the right trade, there's always the next day. And so it took me about it took me about 1.5 months of just constant grinding through this funded account. And finally, I told myself, you know what? I'll downsize to 25,000. Yeah, it's a smaller account size, but at the end of the day, you need to work with what you're capable of doing. And if you're consistent with making 3 contracts a day, and being able to still make the profit, you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. And so I downsized to 25,000. It took me, it actually only took me 3 days to hit the target profit, which is 1,500. And then the final 2 days, it was just, staying true to myself and making sure that I don't mess up with the trade. And so lots of ups and downs in terms of how I got here, and been very thankful, very blessed with the community here at Extra Profit. Everybody's telling me their strategies and their plans, and that's something that I take in going on to the next day in terms of what my strategy and what my plan is going to be.
Wow. So I've got a lot to ask here. Would you recommend someone that haven't done this yet, doesn't know how to do it, and let's say a new fellow traders just want to get funded trading with capital that they don't have? Would you recommend, Lawrence, for them to start small first and then scale up later? Because it looks to me that you try that $100,000
Yep.
trade, and fail, and then you scale back, and in that your job got laid off. So
Yep.
I'm envisioning here your back's against the wall, right? You
Yep.
you you put in an education's investment here in my program, and you want to make it work. But in that process of making it work, you got laid off at your job and you fail onto this bigger achievement or
True.
goal. But then when you scale back, you hit that goal in 3 days.
Yep.
What would you say to fellow traders who want to do this for the first time, Lawrence?
In terms of, trying this for the first time, I would always tell people the number for the funded account, it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, you're still going to be able to make 3 contracts size trades. And so starting off small with 25,000 and really being consistent and hitting, the target profits. And also, if you start off smaller, you have a lot more risk, or less risk involved, because you don't lose, the 1,500 in two, 3 trades. You have, more opportunity of messing up before succeeding. However, if you start off with a, 50,000 or 100,000 account, they have opportunities of making 7 contracts sizes or 12 contracts. One mess up there, your account is basically done. And so, yeah, you can get greedy and be like, oh, one good trade gets me, $5,000 in one day, but then the next day it could be like, you know what? Yeah, the drawdown is $3,000, and one trade can really just shut your account, and you have to start all over. And I've run into that a lot, and I hope that new students that come into here, understand that it's about being consistent, because $12, 20, $50, profit in a day. That's much better than losing an account starting all over. Because especially with the Buellnox, it's a 5-day qualification time period, and especially in someone like me who's been laid off, it's kind of like a time crunch. I want to make that get that paycheck that as soon as possible, and so that one day can really matter. And let's say you're 4 days in and you're just around the corner, and it's happened to me. I was like literally $600 away from getting the $100,000 account, and I just got greedy, put in, a five contract, and then it went down, $750, and I was like, gosh, I just one more,
Right.
and then another $750, and then right then and there, account is closed.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And so starting off small, being consistent, and being able to scale. Um, Anybody in this program can do it. I just want to put that out there. And anybody who's is day trading, an opportunity for me. I know there's a lot of negativity, voices out there that just say, "Oh, don't do this. You're not going to succeed." Yeah, I mean the percentage of people actually succeeding is low, but how many people actually put everything into plan? Technical aspect, psychological aspect, and being able to journal, being able to plan in the morning. People just go in there and just be like, oh, I'm looking at a graph. It looks like it's going up. I'm just going to put in, a market order, which is not the way to go. And so that's what I would tell, a new student. Start off
That's
small,
awesome.
be consistent, and then, as time goes on and you become more efficient, and you see yourself, making the correct decisions, then you can scale up.
Could you help new traders or someone doesn't know anything about this funded account put into perspective? You walk me through 3 days that you did it.
Sure,
When you start with 25,000 into this evaluations,
sure.
what were the gain in those 3 days? Let's say each day, or if you can combine in those 3 days, how much did you have to make in order to get qualified here in those 3 days?
Sure.
Or how much
Or
did you make?
how much did I make? Okay, so to start off, Bill Knox or any of these funded accounts, they have promotions or deals where, yeah, on the site, it'll say like $145 a month or $150, but I had a 90% off coupon, which allowed me to only spend about 14.50 a month, which is like a meal a month that you can just utilize to trade. Um,
Wait, so let me get this straight. It only
yeah,
cost you $15 to
basically,
get into this?
yeah, basically $15 to get into a funded account. Um,
Wow.
yep, and
And after you do that, how much money can you trade? Or
so
this is how
I
what's the
mean,
account size?
the account size is $25,000, so you don't have to spend any money for yourself other than $15. And something that I told myself is, I'm only gonna put in $2,000 of my own capital. Like that is my limit. And I've messed up here and there, but at the end of the day, I'm still within the $2,000 that I'm gonna spend for myself in trading. And so $15, and then going up for like how much did I make? I would make anywhere from I could lose 300 $400, but at the same time I could gain all like up to at one point I did profit 1,500, but I was continuing to try to go in long and stay in, but then because it hit my stop loss, I hit $1,000 just with three contracts.
Wow.
And that's
Wow.
yeah, it is a you do have to get a little bit more points with the three contracts versus five or seven, but still, 1,000 is 1,000.
So
um
could you give me, maybe an average, if you still remember,
sure.
what are those days like? Day one, how
Yep,
much? Day two,
absolutely.
how much? Day three, how much? Just to put into perspective how you achieve this.
Sure. Day one, I actually only profited about $60.
Okay.
Day two, I hit about $800.
Okay.
And then day three was when I really took off and then hit that $1,000.
Wow.
Yep. And then day four and day
Wow.
five, it was just making sure that the goal was just to maintain that 1,500, because there is like a fee that comes into play with trading, and so just making sure that I keep that 26,500. And it's funny because day four I actually maintained it, but then day five I lost I just put in one contract to keep it right at 26,500. It
Which
went
is
down.
okay, right? Which is okay
Exactly.
because as long as you meet $1,500 gain in those five
In five
days or
days.
7 days, you're good
Exactly.
to go, right?
Exactly. And it
Okay,
was yeah, it was a little bit nerve-wracking because I did lose. I had a loss and I had a loss again, and I was like, you know what? I'll actually make one last trade because I was actually down 400 that fifth day, and that's why I was like, you know what? Whatever happens here, I'll just go three contracts, go a 9-3 risk reward. If it goes downwards, I have another day. It's not like you have only 5 days to get qualified. You have as long as you want, like a month.
right, right.
And so that very last trade was I remember we were both in the trade together, but this one is what took me all the way up to I believe it was like a $600-700 profit from a minus 400, and so that's
That's
what got
awesome.
me got me in.
That's awesome. Wow, congratulations
Thank you.
once again. Um, I want to ask you this. When you challenge yourself so many times and you finally did it, how much of this challenge, mission accomplished, comes from the grit, the effort, the things that you're putting onto yourself each and every day? And how much of this is the educations you learn from the course? Is it so the question is how much of this success is yours and how much of this success is you think you got from me, Lawrence?
Sure, sure. I want to say it's almost 50-50, um, because without the course, I have no idea what I'm doing. Like honestly, but because uh, I've watched the course and learned the material, I actually get to put that into practice on my own with the paper trading. And paper trading, I gave myself about 3 weeks of practicing before I actually started trying to get into the funded accounts. And so, to answer your question, like how much of it do I put? What do I think in perspective is like me on the grinding versus like me actually learning the material? I would say 50-50.
So let's say, had you not received the educations, had you not participated in the course or signed up at the very beginning, what are the percentages of you getting this challenge accomplished?
It's nothing. Like honestly,
Zero.
yeah, zero.
Okay, so after the course and you've been in 3 months, you think it puts you like right at 50% and you just
50%.
need to put your effort in and of course make it happen?
I think that 50% is understanding what my thought process is like, how I handle the situation, just being able to find that consistency. Because obviously in my head, it's like I know, the theoretical portions, the Fibonacci retracement or the Dow theory, Elliott wave, I understand that, but it's just putting all those pieces together and understanding the different scenarios of what what the chart presents to you, and understanding in my, you know, for me, it's greed really comes into play. It's like I want to hit that target. I want to get more money, more, 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 more. But in reality, it's like you got to pause when things aren't, 2, 3 trades in. Yeah, just give it a break, come back, come the next day, repeat, reset, rinse and repeat. Basically, that's the mindset that I had to find myself learning throughout this whole process, and it showed during the funded accounts. Like, some people they get it in their first try, second try, and that's awesome for them. For me, it took quite a bit of time, but it is very rewarding, especially in this time frame, in this time that I'm in. Um, it's I've been blessed to have the opportunity to have, I don't necessarily see this as a backup, but it's one of those things where like I want to transition into this, but because I had the skill set, it's like this is what's kind of holding me and throughout this time right now. Yeah, it's not nice being laid off, but it's awesome knowing that I have this skill set that can continue to get me forward because I just moved into this house like back in May, and so in my head it's just like, oh shoot, this next mortgage is due. Like, where's this money going to come from? and now I have, a line of defense that can help me get through this while, and who knows, maybe
100%.
I transition, like I would like to transition to this fully. I just need to have a little bit more consistency of making sure I hit specific numbers.
That's awesome. So when I look back, I'm your biggest fan.
Yep.
I'm always in the back. The moment you come into my DM and you share me a winning trade, I cheer for you. The moment you said you fail the first trading challenge, I said you're next. And you share and you continue to open up. And of course, you have no idea. I'm your biggest fan. I've been your biggest fan since day one because your success is my success. I want to know what's the next step for you.
Next step for me is, now that I have the funded account, it's being consistent and showing that it's not. I mean, obviously this is not the end. The goal is to be consistent and be able to show, to other students here on the platform and everybody else that's, curious. I know a lot of people have been asking me like, uh, is this legit? That's the big question that everybody asks. Go through this uh, 3 to 4 month, material and trying to put into action. Like, is this guy legit? Like, is this instructor legit? And I've I myself can say that this is, probably one of the best decisions I've made in terms of getting myself into that financial freedom, flexibility, and being able to provide when I need to. And so, what's next is being consistent, being able to gain and utilize all the knowledge that I've learned, and then being able to share to others that if you're in a tough time, this is an opportunity for you, and I want to be able to be that guy who's able to share to others, like, hey, if I can do it, you can do it. There's a
That's
community
so
here.
cool.
Yeah, there's a community
That's
here
so cool.
that is also going through it, and I can see that so many people are just right there. They're like right on the cuff of just taking off. Um, and I feel like I said, if I can do it, anybody can do it.
That's so cool. Now, last questions.
Sure,
When we talked about this money, and you said $2,000 or so, that's how much you're going to give yourself.
sure.
And a lot of people think outside of this business is like it takes money to make money. That's the traditional way people think of investment, right? What you've been proving to me or everyone else in this community also is you spent $15
Yep.
and you got $25,000 to trade with. I'm gonna be the most upfront guy to talk
Sure.
about this. It doesn't take money to make money. It takes skill. The moment you have the skill, you can make any money you want.
Yep.
This is the message I've taught to my students the moment they get in, right? Forget about the concept of it takes money to make money. What would you say to fellow traders that's on the fence, either from a fund trading account or even on the fence of on the outside? Should
So,
they do the program? Should they do this funded trading account thing, or
yeah.
what's the best way about going about this, Lawrence?
Yeah. Honestly, to each of their own. Like, if you have the capital, do it. Yeah, that's fine. But if money is what is holding you back in terms of should I do this? Like, I I initially I had that thought process too, but uh, it, I was doing a lot of research, and then also going through this program. It actually I was told like this is an avenue for those who don't have the capital or who don't want to spend capital on trading. Like, this is an avenue for them. I've you know in all transparency, like, even resetting, I've only spent like $300 of my own money, and now I have the opportunity to utilize a $25,000 account, and the qualification even shows it, like, in 3 days, 3 to 4 days, you can make 1,500. And if that's something that not everybody wants to be a full-time day trader. I mean, that's obviously the path that um, you know is golden. Like obviously, 2 hours of your day can be spent, but if there can be people who work the 8 to 5 job, but just need 30 minutes to an hour of their time, making an extra anywhere from $300 to $500. That perfect opportunity right here. And like if that's the way you want to go, um, funded account, it's literally $15 a month, and that'll get you what you need. And
With this $15, could you foresee making $300 to $500 a day from this account,
yeah,
Lauren?
that's actually what my goal is, what I've been consistently doing. If I were to put into average like how much I made in the 5 days, it's about $300 to $500. And
Wow.
that's even, taking a loss on a couple trades. At the end of the day, the average that I made is still, close to 300 to 500. And who knows, like as time progresses, like I could become more skilled, and even with the $25,000 account, I can make anywhere from 750 to 1,000. That's
Wow.
that's an opportunity for anybody who's wanting to take this route. Like the sky is a limit, honestly.
Not only I'm inspired by your accomplishment, but I'm also inspired by the math. I know that you're there. I know the way that when you explain this thing, that is the final piece of confirmation that I know you got a full grasp of the knowledge and you practice and you put it onto every day, learn by doing, and you putting that on right now, Lauren. So happy. Your growth, the process, even though it wasn't pretty at the very beginning, but this is a great milestone. I'm so happy for you, so proud of you, and I can't wait to see what's next for
Yeah,
you,
I
Lauren.
appreciate it, and it's always encouraging to have like a mentor who's very transparent, and actually speaks to each and one of their students. That it really means a lot, especially during this time that I've been through, and just always being encouraging, especially when the ups and downs of the trading experience, just the career path. You've just been there, and that it just shows like it's not just about paying for a course and going through the motions, but it's also the mentorship that you really get, the 24/7 support from the crowd, through the Discord, the family, every student that's in here. Everybody is encouraging each other, and basically we're all in this to become successful, and that's what really matters. And I've been blessed to be a part of this, and I'm still happy to still be in it, and really my goal here now, as I've become a funded, is to still be consistent, and still be learning, but at the same time be able to share the experience with new students coming in, or anybody else who's right on the verge of wanting to, is this the right moment, is this the next step that I want to take.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. I'll see you next time.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.